very dark. And guess what? Whatever was twisting those tree limbs has changed course and is coming our way. Scary stuff. And while we're following its trail, it's following ours. And it has the investigators seriously spooked. Could it be Bigfoot?
I really don't know. I think it's really possible.
The team has set up infrared camera traps and a FLIR thermal imaging device to see what it is.
Okay, so one of the devices that we're using here is a thermal imaging device that we've run into this handycam so we can record all the images. Any animals that are going to come close or move by the area that we're going to stake out, their body temperature is a lot hotter than the cool environment that they're moving through, so they're going to stick out like sore thumbs.
This is Nat and me testing out the FLIR thermal imager. See how our body heat makes us stand out against the cooler background.
So we're going to sit here. Here, if anything comes, be able to see it with the thermal, try and spot it with the infrared, and hopefully have a bit of luck.
We'd been tracking through the bush for a while to see if we could discover what had been breaking the branches. And quite suddenly, we heard this weird sound.
What was that?
It's not the call of any animal known to live in these woods. What an eerie sound. Just like the noise Chester Moore demonstrated to us earlier. We listened intently to see if we could hear it again. A second time we heard it. Was it Bigfoot, or was Chester Moore trying to call one in? We needed to investigate further.
We've just come back up the trail after bringing all the gear to the camp spot. And on the second run, we thought we spooked something. And there's been a whole heap of branches, large branches, snapped off the trail that we've just been up. And there was nobody here. So we're just going back up to have a second look. You freaked out? You a bit freaked out?
I'm a bit freaked out because these branches are so big and they've been snapped off in various places and they've been strategically placed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's...
That's another one.
And there's another one a little bit further up.
We found the weirdest thing of the two trail markers were stuck in the fork of a tree.
Yeah.
Pointing right the same direction.
Exactly.
Right where we were going, right where we were walking.
Yeah, same direction.
And then
That's
on the
one
other
of them.
side, look.
Familiar thing with us. I walked this path 5 times a day looking for stuff and didn't see any of this.
Me too. Dan and I went to check one of the camera traps and we heard this scream, and it sounded like the scream that you've imitated before of a Bigfoot. It wasn't you, was it?
No, it wasn't me. What was that?
No. I hope it was just a falling branch.
Well,
It was a sausage.
actually, but no, what you heard was a Bigfoot creature, because Chris and I walked up the hill to use my cell phone to get some cell phone reception. And I was talking to my wife and it yelled out, and then an owl in a tree right by us called back to it and let out a little sound. And then I was like, hold on, there's a Bigfoot yelling. And that's the sound that's we call the primate yell. So that's as clear a Bigfoot vocal as you'll probably ever hear.
Exactly. That was the closest I've heard that vocalization.
And the second one was me calling back, trying to get it to yell, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't buying it, you know.
Exactly. And most animals will not come up to you like that. I mean, if it's a raccoon or, say, an armadillo, they're not going to come towards the light. They're not going to come and see what we're doing. They're going to go the opposite way. So it's very telling that whatever this animal is, it's curious enough to come and watch us.
So do you guys think that there might be a Bigfoot around here right now?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
We set up our stealth cameras and thermal imager to look over a waterhole. We're hopeful that the creature might come down for a drink. There was little showing on the infrared cameras, but the FLIR thermal imager was working beautifully. Even picked up something swimming back and forth through the water. Then out of the blue, we saw this. Something's creeping along the shore, maybe on all fours, trying to hide itself. It stops momentarily behind the first tree and then moves on again, but then it disappears.
That was just incredible. I'm speechless.
Well, whatever was walking on the other side of that lake was behind a whole bunch of bushes, but at least that high.
Yeah, absolutely. And what it looked like to me is whatever it was might have been crouched down or kind of on all fours. And when it got behind the tree, it got taller.
Yeah.
You could see it definitely get taller and then go down. And we talked about these animals being on all fours a lot and then getting up to look and stuff like that.
After we saw it,
Yeah.
we heard the scream.
Yeah, so you know it's not me
We
making the
heard
scream.
the scream. I know it's not you now. And it is very, very primate. It is primate. They're obviously very curious about us because they're hanging around. They're not leaving the area.
Yeah.
And we saw that one over there and we heard another one over there. So there's at least a couple of them.
There's a few of them in here.
Now, I cannot wait to check those camera traps
Oh,
in
I
the
know.
morning.
Me either.